Hi there, welcome back to another episode of Everybody's Jonathan. Today we're going to be replacing a front caliper on a 2012 Lexus GX 460. Let's see what we got. So I opted for the rebuilt unit. This is what it looks like. It looks pretty clean, well finished. It's about $65 and a $90 core charge. First things first. So realistically, you probably should plan on about an hour's worth of work here. I did speed up the frames just to move things along. Okay, a couple tools I'm using, a tire iron, and I believe it's a 2-ton jack. It's enough to get the tires off the ground. So here's the back side of the caliper that we are replacing. I circled the two 17mm bolts that need to come out. So as you can see, the second bolt was fighting me a bit. I got a breaker bar, which made short work of that. So I hit the brake line with a bit of penetrating grease here. Okay, now it's time for removal of the caliper. I'm just removing the last remaining 17mm bolt here. Now it's time for removal of the brake line. I use a 10mm wrench here. And there is some brake fluid spillage going on, so it's probably a best practice to have something underneath to catch what drips out. So the line is going on to the new caliper here. The leaking should stop shortly. So here we're taking the old brake pads out of the old caliper. Usually I wouldn't recommend to use old brake pads, but these are literally a couple months old with 1,000 miles on them, so they still look fine to me. I'm just removing the pins. The rebuilt caliper came with new pins and clips. And for any of you that wanted to see it again, here it is. Brake pad in brake fluid. So I obviously had to clean this off with some brake parts cleaner before I reinstalled it. So I apologize for the camera angle. It's kind of a tight fit here. So I'm basically just trying to put the pins in with the springs and then also the clips, just like they came out. So it takes me a bit, but I get through it. Okay, now we're just buttoning this back up with the 17mm bolts here from behind. We got the brake pads in, springs in, clips in. Everything's looking good thus far. Okay, so apparently brake fluid has a shelf life, so they usually recommend to use brake fluid from unopened bottles. We have that here. I have a smaller bottle, should be fine for our application. I also have a tube that affixed to the bleeder nipple, as well as a reservoir.
So just let me know when you push down.
So there's different ways to bleed brakes. I am doing the two-man brake bleed. So my dad's helping me out here. So you got to go in a particular order.
I'm open.
So basically he pushes
Now
down on the
closed.
brake pedal, and then I open the bleeder valve and
Let me know when you're down.
close it before he
I'm
lifts up his foot.
Closed.
And that is basically repeated again and again, over and over, until there is no air bubbles coming
Opening.
out of the tube,
Closed.
and the brake pedal feels firm. So another thing to note, when you open the bleeder valve, obviously
Opening.
fluid, maybe some air will come out, but eventually that fluid will stop coming out and reverse the other direction, and you want to
Opening.
close it before any type of air goes back
Closed.
into the caliper.
I'm gonna check the level.
I'm opening. Closed. Opening. Closed. Opening. Closed. Not really anymore. Let's do it once more. Opening. Closed. How's it feel? Opening. Closed. A couple air bubbles came out that time. Opening. Closed. Opening. Closed. Opening. Closed. How's it feel? Okay, let me check the level. Alright, you're down? Okay, I'm opening. Close. Opening. Hello. Close. Okay. You gonna help us? No, changing the brake caliper. Are you down? Okay. I'm closed now. I'm getting some leakage from the... It's almost like it's from the... Let me know when you got it down. Alright, I'm down. Open. Close. I'm down. Open. Close. I'm down. Open. Close. I mean, maybe a couple tiny bubbles, but really nothing. We can do it a few more times. I mean, I have no issue with that. Okay, let's do it a couple more times. Okay, you got it down? Alright, I'm down. Opening. Close. Down. Opening. Close. Down. Opening. Close. We'll do it once more. You're down? I'm down. Opening. Close. Alright, we're about...
Okay, so it really didn't require that much brake fluid, but you do gotta maintain the level in the reservoir, making sure that it's obviously not sucking air in from the top. So. Alright, so here we're just doing a little bit of cleanup, and we'll put the wheel back on, take the jacks out, and it's a good idea to do some slow speed tests of the brakes before you get out on the highway and stuff like that. So hope everything turns out well. Anybody else that's trying to do this, if you have any questions or concerns, maybe you didn't see something, or feel free to leave your questions in the comments. Hit the like button if you like what you see, and if you want to see more, let me know. So appreciate it, and take care.